Hey guys, this is Poof here with gameplay of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu that Fluff wanted me to record and give my opinions on the latest Pokemon, or the first Pokemon game on a home console instead of on the DS or Game Boy. I got the Let's Go Pikachu edition because just like the other Pokemon games, there is specific Pokemon that are in each version of Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And my favorite Pokemon is this guy coming out right now, Growlithe and Arcanine. So he was on Let's Go Pikachu, so I had to get Let's Go Pikachu even though I kind of wanted Let's Go Eevee more. Because I thought you would be able to evolve Eevee, but you actually can't evolve either one of the starters. So that's one of the negatives that I'll get into. Actually, surprisingly enough, if you guys have listened to any of our videos previously, kind of a surprise, because I thought I was going to have a lot more of an issue with it. But turns out that I didn't really, for a lot of different reasons. So one, I kind of got over it, that it wasn't going to be like a core Pokemon game. No matter what anyone tells you, this isn't a core Pokemon experience. There's a lot of things that are missing out of this iteration of Pokemon that is in regular iterations. Things like personality types, things like EVs and IVs, and stuff that is really the nuance of Pokemon, the nitty-gritty of Pokemon, stuff that honestly I never cared about myself, but that stuff is still missing. And there's other stuff too. So this game is it has a always on XP share that does level up your Pokemon pretty dang quickly. It gives Pokeballs away like candy. You'll always have Pokeballs, you always have money. You're never going to be in short supply of anything you need in this game. They hand it out like candy. And they actually hand candy out too, which is a new thing. Something I probably won't get into a lot just because I didn't use it that much. But basically you can, just like in Pokemon Go, you can send the Pokemon back to get like the things that level up your Pokemon. You can send Pokemon back to Professor Oak to get these candies, which can upgrade your speed of Pokemon permanently. Speed and attack power and special attack power, stuff like that, to make your Pokemon stronger. So that's an added thing. But yeah, I mean, overall, there are some negatives. You know, it not being a true core Pokemon game, there comes with some negatives. I wish there was an option that you could, do it more normal and fight the wild Pokemon, but you can't. But I mean, in the end, it doesn't really hurt that much, because really, if we're all being honest, struggling through caves and encountering your 50th, Zubat was not a fun experience. I don't think anyone's gonna lie and say that was a fun experience. We all couldn't wait to get the Super Repel so we wouldn't have to bother with that crap. And it's more or less negated here between the seeing Pokemon in live time to avoid them, and then also just not having to deal with, constantly having to fight them or run away from them, and then sometimes getting trapped and then getting confused by a million Zubats. I wish it was an option so I could play it more, to the real life stuff, not real life, to the actual Pokemon experience, the core Pokemon experience, but its absence from the game is not damning. I do not want them to do that in the core game coming up next year, by any means, but for people who are worried, it's not something that's going to kill your experience. You're gonna get over it pretty fast. The XP share, the fact that you really don't have to grind too much, and I'll actually get to that in a second too, is something that's been prevalent since X and Y when they introduced the team experience share. I played X and Y all the way through, and I almost never had to go out and grind. And I didn't play Moon and Sun, but I heard it was pretty much the same way, where you see the Abra disappear. I still have not been able to like encounter an Abra yet. It's been really annoying because they'll appear and you have like a split second before they teleport away. Puts a spin on them always teleporting away in the other game. But yeah, it's, you know, there is that. They do give out XP share a lot, but that's, you know, been something that's been in the game for a little bit, and it's always annoyed me. But yeah, real quick, to talk about what's happening right here. So this is one of the things that actually kind of makes up for the, you know, kid hands, kid gloves that this Pokemon puts on. Is there's these ace trainers that you can optionally battle, and they give you a pretty good challenge. Like, this girl has a Kadabra and a Machamp, and you know, I'm still easily able to beat her with all my Pokemon combination, but I mean, they're not pushovers. And that's another thing, is that the gym leaders aren't pushovers. Captain Surge or Lieutenant Surge, I lost to, you know, one time and had to be like, oh crap, I need to, you know, put this Pokemon in first, and, you know, then follow it up with this, you know, with this guy. And that's stuff that I did in the past Pokemon games. So I don't think it's as bad as what a lot of people are making it out to be, that, oh, you know, this is the end of Pokemon because you don't need to do anything, this is Kid Glove stuff. You still have to strategize at the very least enough to know type advantages. And I think that's good. Like, it's still a fun experience. I'm still having somewhat of a challenge on it. But it is very much meant for the people who are getting into it from go. They don't have to learn as much stuff as it has in the past. They've made other slight changes to it. Like, a funny one I found was that so in the original Red and Blue, I never played Yellow, so I'm not sure if this is an actual change in Yellow, or they just changed it for this. But when you go to the casino where Team Rocket is, where their headquarters are in the basement, and you can actually like play the casino games and like earn money to buy Pokemon like Abra or Polygon, or whatever his name is. I don't think it's actually Polygon, but you know what I'm talking about, the duck thing. You can't do that. And they actually make a joke like, oh man, you imagine if we sell real Pokemon and they only have like dolls and stuff, and you can't even, which is weird, you can't even buy the dolls, at least that I'm aware of. You can't even play the games at all. Probably because, again, they're catering to the younger audiences, the new audiences that don't want to scare people away with that. But yeah, that's really, you know, what I was afraid about, you know, and stuff like that. But it's, again, I'm having fun. I'm having somewhat of a challenge. The negatives I thought were going to be there. As long as you don't get your panties in a bunch and freak out about, oh, I can't, you know, fight 50 Zubats when I go into the first cave, it's not that big of a deal. Especially when you look at all of the pluses. Like, look how good this looks. This is what we've wanted since Stadium. Since we saw those first 3D rendered Pokemon doing their attacks, this is what we wanted. It's a little less than I'm hoping for. I was hoping that, like, I did that attack, the Zap attack, which is an exclusive to this game, and it's fully animated. And there's a special attack for Eevee that is fully animated. I wanted more fully animated moves, you know, like we have in Stadium and stuff. They didn't do that here. They took basically the assets that they had in the 3DS games and just kind of made them look better. So they don't do fully animated individual for each, you know, Pokemon. You know, a Razor Leaf is going, the attack is going to look the same. You know, Ivysaur might do something a little bit different, you know, movement-wise than when he evolves into Venusaur. but so like those pin missiles look at the exact same, you know, if Slifer was doing it. But it still looks really good. It's still very colorful. The Pokemon following you outside the Pokeball and them having different ways they move. Like, you know, you can ride on an Arcanine. Like, you can ride on an Arcanine, and I'm happy. The Voltorbs roll. Venusaur. Did you know Venusaur was a frog? I didn't until later on. Venusaur, Ivysaur evolves in my video, which is towards the end, and he evolves into Venusaur, and he freaking hops like a freaking frog. I didn't know that, and like that's the detail that this game brings, and it's worthwhile. It's worth playing. It's worth going out and getting if you have a Switch. I hope, and that they do a lot more, even more detail in the core game coming out next year. But I mean, this is a good game, and I'm not disappointed at all. There's a lot of really good things about it. Freaking Pikachu, being able to dress Pikachu up, super cute. Like, I'm a dude, but it's still hella cute. And later on, I don't record in this one, but I got Team Rocket gear, and I'm just in Team Rocket gear, and Pikachu's in Team Rocket gear, and it looks really weird but also awesome. And I really, really want a Pokemon game where you're Team Rocket. I know it's never going to happen because they're too careful with their IP, and they don't want to frame the IP in a bad light, but man, a Team Rocket game where, like, you steal people's Pokemon would be the freaking best. But that's a dream that'll never be realized. Yeah, I don't know if I have much to say on the rest of this video. It's good. It's still challenging. There are things lacking that I'm hoping the core game will have. You know, adding in back in, you know, random battles, adding in IVs and all that stuff that a lot of us have really dug into. You know, and making other features like, you know, that the community has made, like the Nuzlocke mode and stuff like that. Having that aspect in it would be really cool. There's wish lists that we've had forever, but they've addressed a lot of them. The Pokemon look better than ever. Seeing them in the wild represented is what we've wanted. We wanted a little bit more, sure, but you know, a lot of the stuff that a lot of people wanted would have taken out the aesthetic that is Pokemon with the top-down kind of vision that we have there. So they've given us a lot what they wanted, of what we wanted, following outside the Pokeball and the better looking sprites and everything like that. So I'm happy with it. I would give it, if I was ranking it on a 1 to 10 scale, I'd probably give it an 8. It did everything that it could have while doing its own goal of catering to the people, getting a new audience from the people that have Go. That's make no joke about it, make no misunderstandings. This is a game specifically for the people that play Go, trying to get them into the actual Pokemon games. We, you know, mega fans that want a real core game will get that core game next year, and that's what we should be gauging all of our heightened expectations on what a Pokemon game could be on the Switch. This is just an appetizer for us. This is just a teaser, and I mean, as that, if I look at it as a teaser, as an appetizer for my main course next year, I am salivating for what could happen with Pokemon. So yeah, I want to take it too long. I don't want to keep on reiterating things that I've already said. But closing points, it's a good game. There are some shortcomings. There are some things that they've taken away which suck, but I understand why they did it. but it's still a good game. It's still fun. I love playing it. It's still challenging. It's very nostalgic, and it looks amazing. So if you want to play this Pokemon game, if you've been wondering about it, all I would say is if you're a big Pokemon fan, just go in with understanding of what it is. This is, like I said, for us fans, for us huge fans, this is an appetizer of what is to come. And if you don't put all these lofty expectations on it, and you don't focus too much on those things, those little things that they took away, you'll have a great time with it, I think. So, I'm probably gonna cut it to where Ivysaur evolves, so you can see Venusaur and it being a frog, in case any of you didn't know that, like me. So, yeah, I'm gonna cut it out here after I beat this nerd. And yeah, I'll just let that little short video play.